Yo, what's up, everybody? It's DJ the Sports Blurred. I'm back. Did you miss me? All right, so today I just really want to talk quickly about Ryan Day and my thoughts on him. You know, this game, the Michigan game, has been over for the past 48 hours. So, you know, we've had a chance to kind of go back and look at some film, kind of like analyze everything. And it's clear to me right now. It's actually never been more clear to me with Ryan Day. And I want to share with you guys what I'm thinking. But before I do that, if you're here, like, comment, subscribe, all of it. I really appreciate any love and support. I just like talking about college football. I would do this even if nobody was watching. So here's my thing about Ryan Day. He's a good guy. That's it. Ryan Day is a good guy. But to be a great coach, sometimes it takes more than being a good guy, especially at an elite institution like Ohio State is. Think about the personality of Coach Prime, right? Does anything scream coordinator to him? Think about the personality of Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart. Think about these guys, right? There's something about them that even if you didn't know anything about their teams or their programs, I guarantee if you were to see them around their programs, you could identify pretty quickly that he is the guy. That is the alpha. That is that top dog. I know he runs everything there. They have a certain presence about them. Presence. And as I look at Ryan Day, he doesn't have that same presence. And I think that he hears what's going on in the media. I think he sees what's going on in Columbus. And I think he knows that. So a couple things that was different about some of these other coaches. Look what Coach Prime in Colorado was able to do. He took a team that was 1-11 2 years ago, had an okay season, all things considered, last year, but has really come out and exploded this year. He's only lost 3 games. They're 9-2. They finished the season 9-2. They're going to go to a bowl game in the first time in forever. He is the guy. He is the one who turned that around. Sometimes our coaches win because of us. Sometimes we win because of our coaches. Coach Prime is a coach where we win because of the coach. Think about a guy like Kirby Smart. Now, you can say Georgia's having a down year this year, and they are. They're not looking nearly as good and dominant as they've been. Right now, they're 10-2. Think about what they'd be without him. They would not be 10-2. I mean, he has a way of leading his team and getting the most out of his players. So, you know, you can have great players. Dabo Swinney has great players. Nick Saban had great players. Urban Meyer had great players. Ryan Day has great players. But he's not doing a great job in motivating them to be the best version of themselves. This is something that I see pretty clearly as somebody looking at Ohio State. I'm not saying we have to fire Ryan Day. I don't think that would be the right thing. But if we did, if we replaced him with a guy who could get the most out of his players, what would happen at Ohio State would almost become unfair. I have a wish list. I have a wish list. Hear me out, guys. I have a wish list that if we did replace Ryan Day with somebody, I have 4 coaches that I'd love to see him replaced with. Now, 2 of these guys are retired, so the odds on them coming back are going to be relatively small. But the first coach would be Nick Saban. I mean, that name just speaks for itself. Nick Saban, Ohio State. He finally comes back home, place that he started as a grad assistant back in the 80s, comes back home, rights and wrongs of Ohio State, and then we probably dominate for the next 10 years. Now, I doubt that's going to happen. I doubt he would do that to Alabama, and he looks like he's genuinely, enjoying his retirement. My second guy, Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer left a golden ticket for Ryan Day to cash in, and Ryan Day in the last 5 years has not cashed it in. Urban Meyer built that program into what it is now. Heck, I would even venture to say that the reason we're getting the recruits that we're getting is because of Urban Meyer. I think that when Urban left the program to Ryan, he said Ryan's going to be a guy that's going to give the program the legitimacy that it needs, that it already has. And we know that the program will be left in capable hands. And to Urban Meyer's credit, Ryan Day has been 66-10. But out of those 10 losses, think about this, right? 4 of those have come to Michigan. Think about that. 40% of his losses have come to the team up north. they're in his head now. As a matter of fact, he probably has nightmares about them. He probably, this last 48 hours for him, has probably been some of the worst 48 hours of his life. The amount of stress that comes with that job, because you do make $10 million a year to be the Ohio State head coach, because there's a certain level of expectation. So I can only imagine what that stress is like. Getting back to my coach list. So those are my two for, as of right now, Nick Saban, Urban Meyer. My third, I don't think it's possible, but you never know. I've seen stranger things happen, will be Coach Prime. Think about Coach Prime in Columbus, Ohio. Think about Coach Prime, that brand, and then you marry it with the Ohio State brand. I mean, how sweet it would be. I don't even know if there's a number that we could pay Coach Prime. But if you're tired of seeing him on commercials now, think about all the commercials you see him with, with the Ohio State Buckeye logo on his head if he was the coach. Think about, riddle me this. Give me a second. I'm going here, please. Think about what this team would be with the roster that it already has right now if Coach Prime was coaching the Ohio State Buckeyes. Do you think we would have lost to Michigan? Absolutely not. We'd have blown them out. As a matter of fact, it would have probably gotten so bad that in the fourth quarter, he would have ran the ball, called a timeout, ran the ball again, caught another timeout, and then ran it again just to prove a point. Coach Prime is him. Now, you can hate it all you want, sure, but Coach Prime is him. Coach Prime is big time, and Ohio State would dominate under Coach Prime. That's my wish list. Listen, I'm a grown man. I haven't talked to Santa in a very long time, but if I saw Santa, I'd look Santa dead in his eyes. I'd say, Santa, bring me Prime, baby. He ain't hard to find. Just go up from the North Pole, go to Boulder, Colorado, and bring me that man to coach my Buckeyes. I've been a good kid, too. I'll leave out some cookies and milk for you. The good stuff, too. I'm a grown-up. I make good money now. I'll give them the good stuff. And then finally, my fourth coach who I have on my wish list is a guy who's actually with the program already. He is a guy that has, came in and made Ohio State wide receiver U. He is dominant when it comes to recruiting. And also, he's becoming a much better offensive coordinator. He's an assistant offensive coordinator, and he's a wide receiver coach at Ohio State University now. It's Brian Hartline. I mean, it just makes sense. He's a Buckeye guy. He's intense. He's full of passion. He's action. He's hands-on. He's ready to go. He was fiery when he played for Ohio State, so I know he'll be fiery when he would coach Ohio State. I mean, think about this just for a second. You remember all my Buckeye fans, right? All my old Uncle Buckeye fans like me, all the unks. Think about this. When he was here, think about how good he was, right? He had everything going against him. I mean, I had Terrell Pryor throwing him the football. Wasn't a great quarterback, but he still made plays, just like he makes plays now coaching. Those will be my four guys. And finally, the last thing I'll say about Ryan Day, in my opinion on him, good guy, great coordinator, not a great head coach. It's looking like, he would have been better off just staying as offensive coordinator somewhere and letting a real coach actually coach this program. I mean, if you've been watching college football for a while, you've seen these guys. Think about Pete Carroll. Think about how he was back at USC. Obviously we've talked about Urban. We've talked about Nick Saban. Talk about Kirby Smart one more time. That is the guy. That is the guy. As a matter of fact, there was a game between Ohio State and Georgia in the playoffs just a couple of years ago. C.J. Stroud was there. Ohio State was getting ready. It was a 4th and 3 or something like that. Ohio State was getting ready to run a fake punt. Now, they snap the ball. The up man gets it. The up man runs for 4 yards. We get the first down. But wait, no, we didn't. Kirby Smart recognized that Ohio State's alignment for that particular punt formation was off. And right before that ball was snapped, he called a timeout. Little things in game that Kirby sees, I don't think Ryan is seeing right now. Ryan listened to Lou Holtz. This was about a year ago. Lou came out and said the Buckeyes just aren't very soft, and Notre Dame is going to run all over them. And I think that all those things get to Ryan. I think he's heard all of that. He knows that he inherited a golden ticket, and he knows that he has not cashed it in, and he knows his rear end is hot right now. But those are just my thoughts for today. Let me know if I'm on pace. Let me know if I'm off pace. Again, comment down below. Let me know what you think. I always will respond back to those comments, man. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching this.